Good morning, everybody. Hey, welcome to Tuesday, February 4th. And so I hope you had a great day yesterday. Markets rebounded, and we'll be talking about that today, I'm sure, with Dave, along with some other stuff. Hey, look at what we're looking at today as we look at all green this morning. Markets are rebounded pretty well from Friday's close. So we continue to watch that. Hey, I hope you had a great day yesterday. And I want to remind you that all this ups and downs, if you're getting close to retirement, volatility is not your friend. And it's important that you make sure you don't have too much risk in your current portfolio. To find out how much risk you do have in your portfolio, give us a call at 863 382 0037 to schedule your no obligation financial x ray. Hey, Dave will be with us here in just a moment.
Smooth morning man here. I'm Dave. It's 8:38. Time to check in on your money and see what's happening to your IRA and 401k on Wall Street this morning. You got a virus on your computer? You got a virus in your retirement account? Well, based on yesterday and the early morning indications, we've cured the coronavirus. But we haven't, which gives you an idea of how excitable investors are these days. Let's go downtown to the offices of Statler Financial Services in downtown Sebring, where Phillip Statler is standing by. Now, we haven't cured the coronavirus, but boy, you'd almost think we had, looking at all the green ink from yesterday, wouldn't you, Phillip?
It definitely would, Dave. You would think that we were well on our way to getting the coronavirus taken care of, especially, I mean, you take yesterday's and then you look at where we're going to open today. Man, it's a big bump.
And you know, it's amazing. I mean, it's doing nothing but getting worse over in China. I saw a sidebar news story while I was trying to figure out what was happening in Iowa last night. China arrested a whistleblower who had a cell phone camera, took pictures of piles of body bags at a hospital in that city that's the epicenter of the coronavirus. We ain't getting anywhere close on that thing, and it looks like it could be getting worse on mainland China, but investors on our side of the pond yesterday said, oh, what the heck, and traded the Dow up by almost 144 points. There ain't no explanation sometimes, is there?
No, there's not. And I just wanted to tack on. I like what you said about trying to figure out what happened in Iowa. Did you figure it out?
No, nobody has yet. But boy, talk about your embarrassment. If you're a Democrat, you got to be having your head in the sand this morning. Cell phone app they were trying to use in order to get the county by county, precinct by precinct caucus results crapped out. The only official results they got in is less than 25% of the Iowa caucuses, and the party says, we'll give you finals later on this morning. That this is embarrassing to the hilt, isn't it?
It is. It really is. You almost have to laugh. But hey, it is what it is, and we'll see what those results are when they come out. But that's definitely not affecting the markets today, Dave.
Absolutely not. With that sidebar on the Iowa caucuses, I got a kick out of one of our top of the hour news network reports said it brings out memories of Florida in 2020. Just what an Iowan wants to hear, right?
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that. I was thinking that, but I wasn't going to say that.
I wasn't until I heard a network anchor say it either. There were a couple of pretty good and interesting macro reports that came off after we finished yesterday. And it looks like we batted about 500 in terms of good news yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. You know, we had a great day. Construction spending numbers came out. We were a little short there. They expected them to increase by 0.5%. They actually fell by 0.2%. So that was a miss. But the other side of that coin is we had the manufacturing numbers came in. The ISM manufacturing numbers came in, and they were significantly better than expected. A matter of fact, they were expected to come in at about 48.6, and they came in at 50.9. So I think that shows that there is some rebound coming within the manufacturing industry, which is a good sign.
That is good because we've seen some black marks on that as we've gone through the last couple of quarters, manufacturing softening, and anything that's a growth number on manufacturing is good news at the moment, I'd assume.
Yeah. Now, the other things that come out today that'll come out after you and I get off the radio today, we have factory orders we'll talk about tomorrow, and we got total vehicle sales that'll come out tomorrow. So those are two other key things that really give us an indication of how the economy's doing.
Absolutely. And vehicle sales could be the big mover because we've had a couple of, well, let's say interesting quarters for vehicle sales, and that could make a big difference in terms of where we trade some of the Dow stocks. Speaking of big stocks with household names, we had kind of a weird yesterday. Alphabet reported right after the market closed. Most folks know that as Google. Alphabet is Google's parent company, and boy, they absolutely kicked butt on their profit margin. Revenue was off by just a little bit, but they're still selling them like chiclets this morning, aren't they?
Yeah, they did. They beat by over $2 a share, and so things were looking really good there. And like I said, you missed revenue, but it wasn't by a whole bunch, And they had some really big numbers come out on their YouTube and their Google Cloud, that they've done okay. Now, one thing I did see is that the analyst expectations for those two things, YouTube and Google Cloud, fell short of what they had expected. So that could be what's affecting the stock this morning, Dave, because we really couldn't find anything else in the report other than it looks like maybe the analysts wanted bigger numbers there than what they saw. Now, Google's trading down almost 3.5% this morning, but it's a high price stock, right? It's $1,431 a share.
I was going to say a 3% drop on the $1,400 a share stock is a lot of bucks. I was looking at it. I didn't know what the expectations were. This is the first time Google has ever reported their operating unit numbers, and I looked at it and said, wow, $15 billion worth of YouTube videos and close to $6 billion in cloud business. I thought that was something not exactly chopped liver, but I guess with the glamour element of cloud storage, I guess the analysts were kind of thinking that Google was bigger in the cloud world than they thought they were, huh?
Well, and it could be, Dave, that they're looking at the other players in that industry, right? IBM, Microsoft, and those guys, and looking and saying, okay, here's how well they did last quarter. Here's how well we think they're going to do this quarter, and applying that same metric to Alphabet.
That might very well be the case. Like I said, I know cloud storage is the glamour push right now in the tech world, and Google's cloud storage, frankly, I thought it would be a little bit higher than that as well because they're so doggone big on just about everything you hook up with on the internet. And really, their cloud storage business is really just kind of a facial blemish and nothing more on their balance sheet at the moment.
Yeah, and I think they expect it to become more than that.
Could be.
So
You
I got
a bunch.
Yeah, I got a few more household names here. I got Clorox. Clorox, man, it's the cleaner that's always been around since I can remember. They beat by 15 cents a share, revenue top forecast, and they even came in and raised their full year outlook. They've done a really good job of cost cutting and getting their price increases in. So they're up almost 2% this morning. The other one we have is Cummins, the engine maker. Reported a 14-cent beat on their profits. Revenue was ahead of forecast also. They said even though North America truck production is down and weaker demand across construction and the mining industry because those big equipment that work there, they use those Cummins engines. But still they were able to put together a good quarter. They're trading up almost 2% today also.
Nice to see green ink. I did notice that Royal Caribbean reported. You and I were kind of comparing notes and didn't have the specific numbers, but they by and large met what the analysts were looking for. And what I found interesting is they reinforced their guidance for the upcoming year right in the middle of what the analysts' range was, even in the face of canceling a bunch of tours out of China and announcing this morning they won't allow anybody to board a Royal Caribbean cruise that's been to China over the last 30 days or something like that. Even in the face of that, Royal Caribbean managed to meet expectations, and as travel sensitive as things are, it's kind of good to see one of the travel sensitive businesses doing well, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I'm looking, I did find their numbers. At least their projected numbers, right? They see their 2020 adjusted earnings per share somewhere between $10.40 and $10.70, and the FactSet consensus is $10.48. So they're still within that, and you're right. They're canceled 8 cruises so far, and my thing says anybody that's been to China in the last 15 days cannot board a cruise.
15. I missed the number, but if you've been to China, you ain't getting on Royal Caribbean anytime soon.
That's right. Not gonna happen. And I've got one more earnings number. It's a company we all know, BP. They reported better than expected profits for the fourth quarter, And then I found this interesting, and this doesn't always pop up in my general reports, but their earnings are down 26% from where they were a year ago. They still
Price
beat,
price
yeah,
of gas?
price of gas, price of, I guess, those type of things. But their profit is down 26% from where it was a year ago. They did raise their dividend for this quarter up 2.4%, and they're liking it because they're up. Well, I guess this is probably yesterday. They closed up a little over 4% yesterday.
We'll take that happily. Resetting the table for the morning, Dow was up yesterday by 0.5%. NASDAQ was up by 1.33%, 123 points. Standard & Poor's was up by 0.75%. Everything came up roses yesterday. And it looks like we poured some Miracle Grow on those roses this morning because I'm looking at futures that almost are amazing given all the challenges out there. Where are we going 45 minutes early?
Dave, I don't know what's hit between that 15-20 minute delay that we're seeing, but something has radically reduced the futures. Radically.
Oh.
Yeah, we've got the Dow at up less than 0.1% right now.
Crud.
So I don't know what news ticker thing came through, but something definitely has happened somewhere in there.
We're showing 357 up on the 20-minute delay. That's absolutely amazing. I'm looking as I go.
So
what you seeing now?
I'm seeing the Dow up $20, the S&P 500 up less than $2, and the NASDAQ up less than $6 right now. So that's a substantial reversal from what we saw even 20 minutes ago as we get ready to start today. We've got gold and silver both trading down less than 0.2%. And we've got crude oil. Man, it's going the wrong way today, Dave. It's up almost 3% this morning to $51.34 a barrel, which I think that number looks familiar. I think it's about where it was yesterday morning when you and I talked.
It looks pretty familiar to me as well. I think we're pretty well flat, even though it shows a substantial increase from last night. I'm going through my news ticker to see if anything's come up over the last 5-10 minutes, and I'm not seeing anything yet either. We're both going to be spending a lot of time surfing and looking for updates over the next few minutes, aren't we?
Yeah, we are, because that's a big change.
Absolutely. Overseas markets, by and large, Asia was up for the most part, but the Chinese exchanges are still kind of herky-jerky this morning at the close. Europe generally in green ink this morning, midway through their day as well. Looking at the futures and the double take you and I are doing, Phillip, is probably the poster child why stability in a retirement account accounts for a lot, because in 20 minutes, things can make a real big change. How do I find you in order to get an appointment to find that stability?
Dave, and give us a call at 863-382-0037. Now's the time, with all the things that are happening in the world, we need to make sure that we understand the amount of risk we have in our portfolio. And to do that, we've created our financial x-ray. All you have to do is give us a call, 863-382-0037 to schedule your no obligation financial x-ray. And then join us every weekend for the Statler Financial Radio Show, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturdays, 10 a.m. Sunday mornings on News Talk, 7:30 a.m.
All righty. Near as I can figure, they must have something out from Iowa or something that's changing the market, because it is weird and I can't see anything. We'll do that on the post update tomorrow about the same time here on Light FM. Fair enough?
Fair enough, buddy. You have a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you very much. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services, Phillip Statler. Remember.
Well, as we wrap up today, you can see here today what I was talking about. We've seen a big reversal within the futures. And again, we don't know why. We'll keep an eye on it. And I hope you have a great day. And remember, volatility heading into retirement is not your friend. To make sure that you know how to cope with it, make sure you've got the right balance in your portfolio, give us a call right now at 863-382-0037 to schedule your no obligation financial x-ray. Do it right now.